So I've done some earlier posts on when to use which type of training delivery, when to use e-learning, when to do online facilitated. And this is the third one, when is it a good time to use in-person facilitated? So it's ideal really when learning, peer-to-peer learning is important, it's critical, and also when creating a safe space to collaborate and apply concepts. So anytime the content feels a little bit risky or sensitive, facilitated in person is a great choice. So content is the first consideration. A little bit more about that. If the content is nuanced, so again, it's sensitive or it's not just straightforward, follow these steps in the process, that there's variables and different considerations with when I would apply that. Anything interpersonal, so leadership, feedback, communication, difficult conversations, anything like that is great for facilitated learning. Also applies to online, but the nuance here is in person, creating that safe space to collaborate and to have peer learning and to build relationships. If the content is changing a lot, in person it can be easier than online, and the reason is that it's a lot easier to update the facilitator guide and the materials, the slides, for in-person use. The facilitator can even adjust on the fly in the moment, where it's trickier to do that with online because it's a lot more structured. It's compressed when it's online. The other difference is the audience. So that's the other piece to consider. So if you have a local audience or if your audience is geographically dispersed, then cost comes in because you need to fly them in, obviously, and pay for any travel associated costs. The other thing is, if it's a small audience, so you're going to have groups of, maybe up to 25, whereas online you probably will have about the same, but e-learning you're going to have a bigger group. So your audience is local usually, and it's smaller. Again, the other difference in this I mentioned with the content, but you can adapt the message to the audience. The facilitator can do that in the fly. So if I'm supposed to be introducing this concept and I'm realizing maybe my leaders are a little bit more junior than what I thought, my content is geared for mid-level, I can adjust in the moment and adapt it to where they are. Other considerations, I mentioned the travel time and the associated costs. The other one is the physical space. Obviously, you need to have a physical room to do that in, any kind of lunch or coffee, those types of things. And the other one is kind of a bias, I suppose, or my own thought is that if you have kind of mediocre design, great facilitation can make up for that. So if you have a design that's kind of ho-hum, a great facilitator can really bring that ho-hum design to life. So the facilitation is really important. So I hope that helps in figuring out when you might want to choose an in-person facilitated session. Thanks.